Okay, I want to further clarify my thoughts on this juror number 5. You can read about her starting around page 63 or so on day 3 of the trial transcripts. She's a Muslim house sitter for a guy named Mr. Rockwood. And Mr. Rockwood is a follower of Anwar Al-awlaki, who's supposedly a terrorist to the United States, a Muslim terrorist. But Mr. Rockwood supposedly was charged, and Scrocky, who's the same prosecutor in Schaefer Cox's case, Scrocky is the prosecutor in Mr. Rockwood's case. So Scrocky knows all about Mr. Rockwood. Now, Rockwood, who's a known follower of Anwar Al-awlaki, was charged with developing a list of Americans to go kill. My understanding, right? And this juror number 5 was a house sitter for Mr. Rockwood. Not only that, but juror number 5 had other family members that also did house sitting. I don't know if they just babysat or sat around the house when he was out of the house or what. But this Mr. Rockwood did not fight his charges. When the FBI brought up charges against him, he just pled guilty. He said, "I'm guilty and I'll go to jail." Okay, I guess he made a plea deal or something, right? His wife went back to England, and this juror that's sitting on Schaefer Cox's case was a house sitter for Mr. Rockwood, who's a follower of Anwar Al-awlaki, who pled guilty. I'm talking about Mr. Rockwood now. Mr. Rockwood pled guilty to having a list of people to go kill. Okay, now they brought up this juror sent a note to the judge and said, "I was a house sitter for Mr. Rockwood. I just want to let you know that." And so they questioned the juror, both the prosecution and the defense, and decided whether they wanted the juror to be left on the jury. And the way it broke down was the defense, which is Miss Hayden, Mr. Dooley, and Traverso, all argued that she should stay on the jury. Okay, and Scrocky was like putting out the smoke screen. Well, she's going to be upset with the FBI because the FBI is the one who went and arrested Mr. Rockwood. So we don't know if we want her to be on the jury or not, because she's going to have a lot of displeasure with the FBI. Okay, so if you think about this, you got to have an understanding of what's going on with Muslims and how they think, and also this lady's mindset, because she's already predisposed to believe that it's very common for people to have a hit list, right? Because the guy's house that she was house sitting for had a hit list, and he wanted to go murder all these people. Now, do you want somebody who thinks that it's already very common to have a hit list and to go murder people, and especially a Muslim who already has a predisposition against Christians? Not only that, do you think this Muslim is going to have any idea how to relate to the mindset or the state of mind to an American boy who's been raised on Thomas Jefferson, Patrick Henry, Thomas Paine, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington? Do you think that this Muslim will have any way whatsoever to relate to a militiaman who's been raised on the rhetoric of our founders of this country? Okay, and I think it was an incredibly bad decision to keep that Muslim juror on the jury, because she's already predisposed to think that, yeah, it's pretty common to have a hit list of people that you want to go kill, because the guy that I was house sitting for, he pled guilty to it, and he's in prison. So if my Muslim boss is already pled guilty and he's doing his time in prison, then certainly this Christian militiaman who has all these weapons, it doesn't matter if it's legal or not. She probably can't even understand like why a militiaman would want all these rifles and ammunition, which is completely legal. But in her mind, she's like, well, if my Muslim boss had to go to jail, this Christian guy definitely has to go to jail, because look at all these weapons he had, and she's already predisposed to believe that it's pretty normal for people to have hit lists and go around and try to kill him, because I have my boss already did that and he pled guilty. I think it was a terrible decision to keep that Muslim juror on the jury. I think if I was Traverso, Dooley, or Hayden, I would have argued like hell. No, she needs to be dismissed. She doesn't have the ability. That's not a juror of our peers. She's completely from a different culture. She's already been exposed to hit list. Her boss pled guilty to the FBI, get her off the jury. But they didn't do that. They kept her on the jury. Matter of fact, Traverso, Dooley, and Hayden argued that she should stay on the jury. Do you understand how warped that is? Okay, I just wanted to share my thoughts on that, and you guys can go read it for yourself. It's day 3, starts around page 63 or so, goes all the way up to page 68. Thanks.